This is ABC7 News at 11, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. New developments tonight regarding the lockdown of 6 Suncoast schools today. Deputies were called to Riverview High School after receiving a report of a student showing a gun on the school bus. To be cautious, Sarasota County Schools placed Riverview and 5 surrounding schools on lockdown. After a county-wide manhunt, that Riverview High School student is now in custody. 17-year-old Anthony Duncan is charged with possessing a firearm on school property and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Duncan was found in Sarasota at a bus station on North Lemon Avenue. The sheriff's office is still investigating. Well, the investigation continues tonight into what authorities are calling the murder of an 82-year-old Bradenton woman. The woman's neighbor now being charged with her death. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live from 3rd Avenue West with the latest. Rick?
Yeah, Jacqueline, this has shocked a lot of folks. It happened in the home right back there. Authorities are still searching for answers in the death of 82-year-old Zelma Huddleston in her Bradenton home. Her daughter discovered her mom's bloodied body Tuesday morning. Her neighbor, 55-year-old Misty Whiteley, has been charged with second-degree murder in her death.
I didn't believe that it was as close to where I lived.
Anthony Gallo lives right around the corner from where this murder took place. He says this hasn't changed his perspective on the neighborhood he calls home.
Even though the tragedy happened, I don't feel any different about my neighborhood. Everybody knows everybody. I didn't know the people as well as other neighbors.
Authorities say a keychain with the name Misty on it was found in a pool of blood near Huddleston's body. A knife was also found just feet away. The medical examiner says Huddleston suffered cuts and blunt force trauma to her head, which caused her death. It happened in what neighbors are calling a very quiet neighborhood down the road from the Manatee River. Sam Armstrong visits the area frequently. He couldn't believe the news when we told him what happened.
It's pretty shocking. It's really shocking for it's a nice neighborhood.
Misty Whiteley remains behind bars in the Manatee County Jail, where a judge has set her bail at more than $750,000. And
Well, that was Rick Adams reporting in Bradenton. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man who robbed a jewelry store earlier today. The man entered Intrigue at the DeSoto Mall in Bradenton and began looking at jewelry. The salesperson pulled out several different pieces of jewelry for him to look at, and then he grabbed the tray of jewelry and ran away from the mall. The suspect is described as a medium-build black male with a beard, last seen wearing a black shirt and khaki shorts. Anyone with any information should contact the Manatee County Sheriff's Office. Well, 2 people were arrested during protests at the University of Florida in Gainesville today. Protesters gathered as white nationalist Richard Spencer spoke on campus. David Knott was arrested for resisting an officer without violence, and Sean Brijmahan was arrested for carrying a firearm on school property. Back in August, the University of Florida originally declined Spencer's request to speak due to threats of violence, but allowed today's event eventually, stressing the school's commitment to free speech. Well, let's get a check on your weather with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks, Jacqueline. A nice, pleasant evening. We have fair skies overhead right now. A few showers on the east coast, down to our south, a little bit of rainfall there. But we're here we're looking at some dry air in place, and we're not anticipating any rainfall overnight. Temperatures, although will be slightly above average, it'll feel nice because of that northeast wind, bringing in the lower humidity values from the land as opposed to a west wind, which brings in the higher humidity, at least at the surface. Currently, the temperature is still pretty warm at this hour, 76 degrees, the dew point 70. And the humidity now at 82%. Winds are out of the northeast at 8 and the pressure 30.09 inches. That continues to rise ever so slightly, and that's going to be the weather story. High pressure dominates our weather for the foreseeable future with generally fair conditions. Right now across the coast, we have mid-70s now, 77 in Bradenton, 77 in Venice now, and 78 in Inglewood. The water temperature at 82 degrees in the Gulf and 76 now in Arcadia. Areas east of I-75 today, and even close to 75, warmed into the low 90s, but this morning's lows were nice into right around 70 degrees. We'll see similar conditions to start the day off tomorrow. You can see 2 pockets of dry air Here's one now making its way through Georgia and another coming in from the Gulf right across the peninsula. With these two areas of dry air in place, we can anticipate little chance for any significant rainfall for the foreseeable future. Now in the tropics, all is fairly quiet, although we're starting to see some gathering of clouds here in the southwest Caribbean, but no areas of concern at this point due to some strong upper level winds, and not much going on in the Gulf of Mexico. A little trough of low pressure making its way toward the west right now, but there is a stronger cold front on the way. We're going to talk about that cold front and what it means for our overall weather next week coming up in a few minutes. Jacqueline?
All right, thank you so much, Bob. We'll check back in with you shortly. A bill focusing on teaching Florida students about the dangers of human trafficking has passed its first Senate panel. State Senator Greg Steube wants to make sure that middle and high school students are learning about the dangers and signs of human trafficking in their school curriculum. Steube's bill unanimously passed the Children, Families, and Elder Affairs Committee and has two more stops before it can go before the full Senate. Steube says the bill stemmed from a Riverview High School graduate who came to him with the idea, and he thought it was a great bill to get on board with.
Most people don't see this part of what's going on in our community, but it's happening everywhere. And when you look at the statistics, it's pretty staggering of what's going on here in Sarasota and all across the state, especially in Florida. Florida is one of the leading states where this type of activity is going on. So if we can prevent these atrocities from happening and prevent especially high school age children from being involved in these type of organizations and getting pulled into these type of organizations through education, I think is very, very important.
That bill is expected to be discussed in the 2018 legislative session. Straight ahead, Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus details on President Trump's statement today that Puerto Rico faced a situation worse than Katrina, and the White House Chief of Staff emotionally addressing the public about the death of 4 service members.
Hi, I'm Janelle Hale, founder and CEO of the National Breast Cancer Foundation. No one should face breast cancer alone. When I was diagnosed 36 years ago, there was no internet, and I had to make a decision with little information. Early detection saved my life. It could save yours too. To learn what every woman needs to know about breast cancer, visit nbcf.org/hope.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions?
Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, Bob, a pretty pleasant evening out there this evening.
It has been, I mean, considering what we went through. Again, I keep talking about that because it has been a long, hot summer. A lot of storms around, and we had the two hurricanes, really, with Emily and also Tropical Storm Emily and also Irma. So let's get that out of the way. Let's get the cold front to come through and cool us all down here. We're talking nice, though, right now. 76 degrees, 74 degrees, and beautiful photos sent in. Again, Norm Schimmel, that's right, high five on that one. Some crepuscular rays right there, the clouds there providing those nice rays, sunbeams as Norm called them, and Norm Schimmel always sending some photos in. And pretty close to that location right there, Richard from Sarasota getting that from Golden Gate Point. You can see it looking out over the Ringling Bridge there. Well, Sarasota, beautiful, Manatee, beautiful, Charlotte, all the counties saw some gorgeous weather today here along the Sun Coast as a result of high pressure, which continues to dominate our weather. A spectacular sunset this evening, and it looks as though we'll see another gorgeous day tomorrow. No big changes, really. This frontal boundary down to our south, which is stationary, continues to weaken and for the most part is gone. There's still a little bit more activity, though. You see the showers down there, so there's a little bit of something going on down there, but not much. And then high pressure continues to dominate the weather over the southeast. That provides us with this easterly wind. Around that high pressure, we get this clockwise flow, and that is giving us a nice breeze. So there's no convergence with a west coast sea breeze setting up. The wind's a little bit too brisk out of the east, so that means any showers that have a tendency to pop up will not be around very long, and they won't be much in terms of rainfall because of that dry air in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. Right now, 76 degrees, but the dew point is nice at 70. Winds are out of the northeast at 8, and the pressure 30, 09. That continues to rise. The high today, above average, 89 degrees. As I mentioned earlier, we had a couple of low 90s east of the interstate. 85 is the normal high, and the record high, 92 degrees. That was set back in 1971. And no rainfall to report today or for this month, hardly, at least in some areas. I know that just last weekend we saw 2 to 3 inches of rainfall near Lakewood Ranch and places nearby. The yearly total now 61.43, well above average, and the forecast tomorrow doesn't change much than what we've seen over the past couple of days. No real threat of any significant rain. If we see anything at all, it'll be a passing shower. Temperatures will be above average, approaching 90 degrees in the late afternoon on that northeasterly wind, which will be at times a bit breezy. It'll be kind of windy out there at times, especially in the midday. For boaters, the small craft advisory has expired, but you should still exercise caution if you're going offshore on that northeasterly wind. Seas will be running 2 to 4 feet. Futurecasts not depicting any rainfall for us overnight or tomorrow. And for that matter, right through Saturday and Sunday, the rain chances increased to 30%, but not all that much. We'll have a better chance for showers and storms late Monday and into Tuesday as that cold front, that well-advertised cold front, is expected to move on through. Well, in the Caribbean, all is quiet right now. In the Atlantic, all is fairly quiet. There's that old frontal boundary, and a lot of this front looks rather active now near Bermuda. We're not anticipating anything to develop at this point. This next cold front, though, something may happen. We'll keep an eye on it. Elsewhere across the U.S., quiet over the eastern third of the nation because of high pressure ridge. Stormy out west. The storm track is out west right now, and the NOAA Climatic Data Center has come out with their projection for this winter. For our coast in particular, we have a 40% chance of being drier than average and a 40% chance of being warmer than average as well. And that's a direct result of La Nina, which may come into play. That's the cooling of the eastern Pacific off the coast of Peru. And speaking of cool, it's cool over the northeast and throughout the northern plains, but temperatures are in the 50s there. For boaters tomorrow, winds will be up a little bit, and the sea's running 2 to 4 feet. The water temp 82. And as far as the tides go, here they are on your screen. The next high tide will be at 12:37, and the forecast tonight mostly fair, mild and breezy, northeast winds 10 to 15. And for tomorrow, look for another gorgeous day, great for the beaches or anything outdoors. 20% chance for showers, high of 88, And the extended forecast does call for gorgeous weather through the weekend. Chances for rain increasing on Monday night and through Tuesday. And then look at the cooler weather coming on in on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, the wind and the waves got us this week. Captain Johnny couldn't make it out on Wednesday, but the beaches are okay when the winds are strong. Here's more. Well, this lovely couple from the rubber capital of the world, Akron, OHIO, hired coach Steve Herrick of Beach Fishing Adventures to wrap their vacation up. Fishing from the groins of Longboat Key and using greenbacks, the reluctant angler, Nancy, hooks up first. There you go. Now hold your rod up. Hold your rod up. There you go. He's still on. He's still on. That's all right. Let him take it.
Good. Reel.
And get some great tips from the coach as she reels it in.
Hold the rod up.
Okay.
See the rod up there?
Okay.
Let that do the work. When you start to lose your bend, go with it. If he pulls, you're not even real. Oh, there he goes. You see that jump?
Nancy, the novice, was a fast learner and kept bringing them in, all to the delight of husband and avid angler Tony, who told me in private, I hope she gets hooked on this. Now, Nancy, what do you think so far?
I think this is a lot of fun.
After this day, he won't have to twist her arm to go fishing again, as she was having a ball, as a school of Spanish Macs kept tugging on the line. And it wasn't just Spanish mackerel that were hitting, as she battles this much bigger fish. And she was getting tips from everyone, including this gentleman who was visiting from New York, telling her how to cook it.
Overnight in Italian dressing. Remember, Italian dressing fixes anything.
A beautiful day on Longboat Key, as even Tony manages to catch something he was targeting earlier.
Keep in the water.
Oh, look at that. Nice flounder.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I think that's a keeper, isn't it? Later, I had the chance to wet a line and haul in a nice one as well on this nice day fishing from the shoreline.
Hey, you know what? When you're fishing off the beach, there's nothing better. I totally recommend it. Just relax, don't worry, and be happy. That's the bottom line.
Sounds like a song to me. Don't worry, be happy. Well, Captain Alan Roth sent me this picture too from Magic Fishing. Big redfish are biting in some areas now, and Johnny did make it out the day before and caught this nice Spanish mackerel, as you see right there. He did, and his client did. And then Coach Steve Herrick again just today sending me photos in. The Spanish mackerel still biting off the area beaches with the Beach Fishing Adventures. Well, we've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks. It's this weekend, rescheduled. The kids actually teach a kid fishing and ecological clinic going on. That's at Moat Marine Aquaculture, and I think it's booked solid, but you can check to see there's a waiting list. And the Snook Shindig is now again November 3rd and 4th for Moat Marine. And the Coastal Conservation Association Sarasota Banquet and Auction at the Hyatt Regency is coming up in just a couple of weeks. There's the number on your screen. You can call, sign up. Always a good turnout for that too in Sarasota and Manatee counties, and they raise a lot of good money to help with the the fishing offshore.
That's good.
That's right.
And it's always fun to see the kids catch a fish. They always get so excited.
They
about
do,
that.
absolutely. It'll be a lot of fun to see them on Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Bob. Well, President Trump says Puerto Rico faced a situation worse than Katrina. That comment came today as he explained why he was rating his administration's response to the hurricane a 10 out of 10. Trump was speaking to the press during a White House meeting with Puerto Rico Governor Ricardo Rossello.
It was probably the most difficult when you talk about relief, when you talk about search, when you talk about all of the different levels, and even when you talk about lives saved. You look at the number. I mean, I think it was worse than Katrina. It was, in many ways, worse than anything people have ever seen.
Trump previously compared the situation in Puerto Rico to the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina during his visit to the island earlier this month. He suggested that Hurricane Maria wasn't a real catastrophe like Katrina in terms of the number of casualties. Today, Trump appeared to flip the comparison, suggesting that the devastation in Puerto Rico was worse than in New Orleans during Katrina, but that the federal response was far more competent. White House Chief of Staff General John Kelly making a surprise visit to the White House briefing room, addressing the recent controversy over Gold Star families and those solemn phone calls made to grieving families. Kelly also opening up on the loss of his son in Afghanistan. ABC's Maggie Ruley has more.
General John Kelly compelled to address what he sees as an unfair attack on the president over calling the families of fallen soldiers.
When I talked to President Trump about how to do it, my first recommendation was he not do it. I said to him, sir, there's nothing you can do to lighten the burden on these families.
Kelly, a retired 4-star general and a father, lost his own son Robert, who was killed in 2010 after stepping on a landmine in Afghanistan.
President Obama, who was my commander-in-chief when I was on active duty, did not call my family. That was not a criticism.
But Kelly spared no criticism for Democratic Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who listened on speakerphone to a call between the president and Maisha Johnson, the pregnant widow of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, a special ops soldier killed in an ambush in Niger.
He kept referring to him as your guy. He never called his name.
It stuns me that a member of Congress would have listened in on that conversation. Absolutely stuns me.
But according to the Washington Post, Wilson's relationship to the Johnson family goes back decades, long before she became a congresswoman. Yet Kelly never addressed Trump's role in this controversy, that he was the one who ignited the firestorm when he turned a question about Johnson and the 3 other fallen soldiers in Niger into a political swing at his predecessors.
The traditional way, if you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls.
Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
Well, sports is next, but first, here's Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, we are coming to you from Brooklyn, New York.
The guy's name was David.
The guy?
He was in the Navy. So I said, okay, that'll work.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-918-5654. Go online or visit a Target store today.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Every week on Animal Outtakes, it's a new animal adventure.
Some of these dolphins were rescued from the wild. You'll hear about their story and how they're getting a second chance.
Join us this week on ABC7.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now, sports.
Game 5 of the National League Championship Series happening tonight in Chicago. The Cubs have to win again to stay alive and will have to beat Dodgers ace Clayton Kershaw to do it. Jose Quintana on the mound for the Cubs in the first inning with Bellinger at the plate. One out and Chris Taylor at first. Bellinger rips a double down the right field line and Taylor races around from first. Play at the plate and he is safe. The Dodgers lead 1-0. In the second, same score. Kike Hernandez at the plate. Hernandez crushes the first pitch of the inning for a solo home run, and the Dodgers lead 2-0. Now the Dodgers end up taking the win tonight, 11-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning finishing up a challenging 3-game road trip in Columbus tonight. A good night for the Lightning's Mikhail Sergachev. He lights the lamp for the first time in his career. Lightning grabbed the 1-0 lead, and in the second period, Sergachev gets a nice pass from Nikita Kucherov and puts a wrist shot past the keeper for the goal. What a night for Sergachev as he gets his first 2 goals in his NHL career and gets his team the win. The Lightning take it home 2-0. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell says he believes players who kneel during the national anthem are not trying to disrespect the flag, but the league still believes they should stand. He said that there would be no change in the NFL's policy, which states that players should stand for the anthem, but they are not required to do so.
Not doing this in any way to be disrespectful to the flag, but they also understand how it's being interpreted, and that's why we're trying to deal with those underlying issues.
Last season, Colin Kaepernick, former San Francisco 49ers quarterback, began kneeling during the national anthem. Since then, hundreds have joined in on that protest. That's a look at sports, and we'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
If you have Medicare, I have 3 things you'll want to hear. There's an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana. It includes Medicare Part D prescription drug coverage, and it may save you money in so many ways. It's all in this book, and it's yours free just for calling. You'll see all the ways the plan might save you money, even on prescription drugs. In fact, last year, Humana Medicare Advantage prescription drug plan members saved an estimated $6,500 on average on their prescription costs. And you get all this coverage with an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. Even if you've looked at Humana before, you need to take another look at this plan. We'll send you the decision guide absolutely free, in a slightly smaller size, of course. Discover the all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan that could cut your costs and cover your prescriptions. Call 1-800-824-8241 or go to humanabigbook.com. The savings are too big to miss.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
Well, we have almost made it to Friday, and the weekend's looking pretty good.
It is looking really good. Lots of sunshine. Temperature's a little warm, but not too bad with the lower humidity around. Sunday, maybe a little bit more humid as winds switch around to the south, but tomorrow morning, you want to make sure you get up right around 6:30, 7 o'clock, if you can, and just go outside and enjoy it, because I know I did this morning. It was nice to be out there,
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, Bob. And thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.